welcome to the Ellerium Games podcast. I'm Iona, and with me is Jason, Breck, and our other guest today, Leila. Hello.
There we go. See? That's so bad.
Hello.
Hello. So we are here today to talk about our UK Games Expo pre-choices. So what we fancy seeing the most. Leila, Iona and myself have done the classical thing of going and researching and looking into what we want to do.
Classical thing.
Breck has done sod all, as always.
I've come in with an interesting game.
No, an idea. It's not a game.
It's a game.
I don't know.
It's all a game.
Life's a game. But yeah.
You're a game.
You're a game. You're a big, massive game. But yeah, so we're going to talk about our top games that we fancy looking at, and then Breck's going to see if we can convince him
to go and look at these
them,
games.
Yeah, because he was too lazy to do his own research.
I couldn't. You sent me a site. I tried to access it. I couldn't access it.
There are many other sites. Doesn't have to be that one.
Also, I've managed to access it.
Yeah, you did. But
borrowed
they didn't
mine.
like me, so.
No one likes you. It's okay. It's the life. So yeah. So what we'll do is we will take a turn in describing the game to Breck, and Breck will decide if it sounds good or not. I'm going to.
Are we just going to jump right into this?
Yeah.
Or
Well,
are we
before we
gonna...
do, I want to say at the end to stay back because I'm going to give away a game.
Oh yeah. What game?
Well, it's for the end. I might even throw it in the middle just so people actually listen.
But why don't you tell them so that they know whether to stay or not?
But that's the surprise. There's the anticipation. The what's the word? It's not
Right. So just fast forward to the bit that you want to hear.
When I could drop it at any moment.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. So
We'll do it at the end.
we'll start with Iona, as we'll go this way, and we'll go back to you. And then
Well,
we'll go back
we're going to say like we're going to the Games Expo.
yeah,
This is the UK Games
2019.
Expo.
It's just in a couple of weeks, isn't it?
it is in like 10.
I haven't even researched
15
when it is.
days. Is it?
Yeah, something like that.
What are we on? We're on the 18th now, so yeah, it's like 15 days to go, maybe even less.
This will be our fourth time.
2016, 15. Yeah, I think fourth one. Yeah, I could.
This
go.
will be your second one,
My
Iona?
second time.
Yeah.
Yeah. We are all going down different routes. Me and you are going in the car with Chris.
It's going to be like wacky races.
Yeah. Iona's going down by plane on the Thursday.
On the Thursday morning.
And then Leila, you're going down Thursday as well.
Wednesday night.
Wednesday
Oh,
night.
Wednesday night. Oh,
Yeah.
Wednesday night. Okay,
From Aberdeen, is
nice.
it?
So we're all going to be down there, and then Chris is with us in the car, and then Gabby's joining us later on when we're there.
Oh, is she?
Yeah.
Gabby's not actually coming.
Oh, she's not coming down.
No, she couldn't get off for holidays.
Oh,
But
God.
my other friend Kat is coming.
Oh,
Good.
well. Oh, that's
So-
his cat now. Cool. All right.
Was she the one that came on the Sunday last year?
No, that's different.
Is
That's
that the last?
Kim.
Who was
Kim.
the last he was in last
Kim.
week?
That's Laura.
All right. Okay. No, there's so many people. But yeah. Oh well, someone new to wind up. Because you know we will.
I'll just wind you up.
Yeah, probably.
Right, so we're going down and use of all research games that are coming along to the expo.
Yes.
So convince me to go and see these. We'll make this as if I don't know anything about games. What games should I go? It's my first time at the expo.
So we'll start with Iona.
Why are you starting with Iona?
Because just go round. It's easy.
Okay, one of the games I'm interested in is Blood on the Clock Tower by the Pandemonium Institute. It's a 5 to 20 person social deduction game.
Pandemonium Institute is the company
The
that makes it.
publisher, yes.
Yeah.
It's recently been on Kickstarter, and Shut Up and Sit Down Boys really like it, and it's kind of a...
I know you really like the Shut Up and Sit Down Boys.
Come on, words quick.
I'm not quite convinced about this game because they were praising it very heavily as like the best evolution of werewolf they've ever played, and I don't really like social deduction games, but I like the idea of social deduction games, so I'm wanting...
Wait, you like playing Resistance with me, surely?
That's an experience.
Why do you not like social deduction games?
Well, like with Resistance, it just feels that you're bombarded with information and you don't have quite enough time to figure out what the hell is going on.
Oh, it does move.
Probably if
quick.
you played with not me, it'd be easier. Because I just shout stuff at people. I'm like, spy! He did this, and I just let him
That's you even when you're not playing Resistance.
But like something like Battlestar Galactica, I quite like. So I'm not...
Because there's a bit more to it.
Yeah,
and
a bit more to
it's
it.
a bit paced. Okay.
So Blood on the Clock Tower is supposed to have like... Well, the Kickstarter introduced even more stretch goals. We had lots of different roles, and they have somebody who plays like the DM, the narrator, so it kind of curates the experience a bit. So
Okay.
I'm just curious about trying it.
And sounds like a horror type theme. Is it a generic horror type theme, or not a Cthulhu type theme?
Essentially, werewolf. I think there's demons trying to take over the village, and they've got to kill off the villagers, and the villagers have got to kill the demons.
Okay, interesting.
And because apparently plays best with around 12 people, probably never going to actually get a chance to play that unless it's one of our
that means
board game
24
events.
hour.
demo's going to be a bit rough.
Yeah.
24-hour events will be good for that. Like, that must be hard for them.
Well, if you get a lot of people at the stall at the expo,
Yeah.
I have to say that I spotted that one as well. It didn't go on my list simply because it's a social deduction game that you need a lot of people to play, but it did look interesting.
That's why I want to try it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think I'm going to say no to that one. Mainly because you weren't convinced yourself. You don't like social deduction games. You don't know why you've put it on your list.
I put on my list of things I want to try, not necessarily things I'm going to buy and love.
Nah, I'm out.
So, okay, fine.
Okay, well, that's the first
Leila,
one.
you're up.
Now, I found something quite interesting from Pegasus Spiel called Undo. Now, they've got a series of 3 different games that are all this part of this Undo heading, where you start off with a death. And the idea is that you, as a player, are a weaver of fate, and you travel into the person's past, visiting moments of their life, not trying to solve the mystery or anything like that, but trying to stop them dying. So can you change their fate? And there are 3 different games set in different locations. One is a Cherry Blossom Festival set in the year 2000. One's set in 1929 called Blood in the Gutter. And there's one set in 1994 called Curse from the Past.
It's a lot of blood so far.
Well, yeah, it's about death. And you know I like
I'm
a dark
talking about
theme.
both games that you have been talking about.
Oh, you like my one then?
But it just sounded quite interesting. Now, I haven't played Time Stories yet. And I wondered if there might be some of the similar sort of ideas there.
So
you're travelling into the past to find out things.
Is it a quite heavy story-based game?
Yes. And I think the idea is that you tweak different aspects of moments in these people's lives, and then you sort of fast forward again to see if what you've done has had any effect.
Okay.
And it just sounded quite interesting. So I'm going to go and check out their stall. They always have interesting stuff at their stall anyway, but I'll see if I can have a look at some of those.
I may have a look at that one, but I'm loath to get into it because I still haven't played Time Stories, and I've got it and all the expansions, we still haven't played it yet.
No. Should probably bring that in at some point.
I'm not playing it in here.
Why? You've got Iona, Leila, and then get one other Eric.
Yeah, I'm not playing it in here
Why?
because it will ruin the experience for me. I want to play it in a nice quiet
You want to
area.
invite them round? Have a nice quiet at dinner time?
Right, next.
Alright, okay. So I'm going to go with my first one to look at is Namiji from Funforge.
Nimiji.
Probably saying that wrong.
Can you spell it?
Namiji.
Oh, Namiji sounds
It's
very reasonable.
yeah,
Namiji.
maybe Namiji. Yeah, it's from the guys that make Tokaido. So that probably.
All right, so Japanese theme.
Well, I don't know. There's no actual theme. I've not found the actual theme. It looks similar to Kaido. It doesn't really specify the actual full theme. It's the track from what I've seen on the board. It's it goes round rather than just a straight board. So it's like a square board rather than a long board now. It's the same action process. Last person goes first, and then you can choose to keep going last to get more turns, or you can speed ahead to be the first player. It's 2 to 5 players again. Looks colourful, looks bright, looks fun forgy. But yeah, because it's a Kaido, I've always liked Kaido as a good intro game, and it's quick, fast.
Yeah, Tokaido's a nice game, but is it too like
Well,
Tokaido?
that's the thing. It could be just another reskin of Tokaido. So unless the actions are so varied that it makes it like another game, if you know what I mean. But that's why I'm going to go check it out, because I need to find out if it's just a Kaido reskin or if it's a whole new game effectively with the same mechanics. So, yeah.
Now, Gil Hovers from Formal Ferret, his new game looks to be a bit along the same lines in that it's got a one-way track that you follow, but you're building a high-rise.
Oh, okay.
That was one that I was looking at and isn't actually on my list, but
Gilhold,
looked very
that's
interesting.
Networks, isn't it?
yeah, the
Yeah,
networks.
he designed
Yeah.
So that'd be good, yeah.
So you're building basically levels in your high-rise tower.
Oh, is that the one I seen on? You draw numbers on it.
Yeah, something
Yes,
like
I
that,
did see some
think.
advertising on
I think
Facebook.
something like
Yeah,
that.
that looks quite good actually. Looks weird. So, yeah. So that's.
So I'm not sure if I'm too interested in
It's
Namiji
Tokaido anyway.
because if it's too Tokaido-y,
Yeah. If it's the same as Tokaido, if it's just reskin of Tokaido, then it's going to be pointless. If it's got enough actions, enough gameplay features that change it, then maybe. But again, I'm looking at this from a perspective of it's a good intro game if it is, and it's another quick sell to beginners. Yeah.
intriguing.
So we'll see.
I'm out.
Okay. Background, Iona.
So my next game is Lifeform by All or Nothing Productions.
Right. Lifeform, instantly intrigued. Sounds a cool game, but All or Nothing Productions turning me off.
Bad pun.
Yeah.
So it's a 2 to 4 player game with 1v all hidden movement, where one player is essentially Alien, the board game.
So, but kind of like Spectre Ops or
Yeah, kind of like that.
what was it?
Fury of Dracula?
Fury of Dracula.
One person is playing the alien, the rest of players are playing crewmates on a spaceship, and they have to try and escape the ship before the alien gets them.
Now they can't kill the alien.
They can kill the alien, but not until the final section of the game, but they can sort of slow him down and weaken him so he's easier to defeat at the end of the game.
Okay.
She nearly said Aryan.
There is player elimination in it, but one thing I find quite interesting that is if all your characters die, you then get to take on the role of the cat or the ship's computer,
Excellent.
and you can sort of screw around.
So Jonesy or Mother.
Yeah. And sort of mess around with the doors as the ship's computer, or like mess around with the alien as the cat.
Now it sounds to me like it would have been nice for them to have the actual Alien IP,
The
but
license.
maybe they weren't able to get it.
Well, they're called All or Nothing Productions.
Oh, you've said it again.
Oh, I'm in for that one.
I'm close to saying I'm out.
Yeah,
but-
okay, yeah.
No, the game. I do like a 1v many type game like Fury of Dracula.
Or Not Alone.
Not long.
That's
Yeah.
a really good one.
And Spectre Ops and things like that. I like, but I like to be the one.
Yeah. The ruler, the bad guy.
No, that sounds interesting. I might check that one out. Leila?
So, as well as sort of dark and horror games, I also love trees. And my next one is Bosk from
Bosk, yeah.
Floodgate Games, which is about running a national park.
Is it about the Star Wars bounty hunter running a national park?
I'm not getting the reference. I'm not a big Star Wars fan.
There's a character in Star Wars called
BOSSK.
Bosk.
Is it
Yeah, this has only got one S.
It's 1S, 1K, so yeah.
I have to say, I have no idea why it's called Bosk. I'll have to ask them that. But the idea is that you have lots of trees that you look after, and the leaves from the trees blow in the wind and land places, and that's how you score some points. And there are also squirrels and hikers, and you have to keep an eye on them all and make sure everyone's happy, and it sounds like a lovely little game.
Bosk, a meaning word, is a small wooded area.
There we go.
In what language?
It doesn't specify what damn language. Jesus, it just means a small wooded area. It could be English for all I know. I just googled meaning of Bosk and it said a small wooded area. Why? Just accept
fair
it.
enough.
Educational information. We're teaching
That's not that educational.
Did you know what it meant beforehand?
What?
Did you know what Bosk meant beforehand? And don't say
Yeah.
bounty hunter from Star Wars because I'll throw something at you.
Right, but then ask what language it's in,
I
and
don't
you're
know.
like, don't ask me questions.
English. There we go. It's in the Collins Dictionary. So there you go.
Yes, you find that a lot of different language words in the dictionary as well. I bet you blancmange is in the dictionary. That's a French word. Anyway, I believe that I showed you this one the other day, and you were like, "Oh yes, trees. Yum yum yum." Yeah, it did look quite nice.
Very nice meeples.
Yeah, little sort of squirrel meeples and leaf
Oh, cool.
meeples, and yeah. No, I think I would be interested in finding out a little bit more about this game because it does look very nice, and it's edging a little bit more towards my interest in games.
Something that are more off the beaten track and like more indie.
Well, something that looks a little bit more heavy.
Okay.
I like a heavier game.
Yeah. Well, then you're gonna like my next one, which is a pretty easy one because I think you backed it. Possibly, I could be wrong. Is Awakened Realms, Tainted Grail?
Oh, I haven't backed it.
As you know, I thought you might have. Okay.
We're going to.
Well, Awakened Realms.
We'd considered it, but
it's expensive, and by the time we did the group pledge, it was still expensive.
yeah, and then Eric decided not to do
Group pledge because it was
and-
going to cost him more money.
yeah. So
Yeah, Awakened Realms will be there. They will be demoing apparently not a prototype, but a demo version of Tainted Grail that's now unfinished.
Okay.
So that'll be good to check out.
Well, I know that they had sent out a few copies of it to reviewers and such, so there are copies floating about. So it'll be interesting to have a look at it.
Also, I'm hoping that they're going to be there with other games because they've got games Siege Storm, they've got Lords of Hellas, they've got a new one coming. I think it's called
But
Hive. Or
you
Beehive.
have all of those games.
I've got Nemesis, Lords of Hell, and Siege Storm because I'm a big fan of theirs. So being able to get hands on Tainted Grail because I never managed to black it will be quite nice. I might even be able to get sort of maybe talk to them for direct distribution possibly, which will make life a bit easier. But yeah, it's one of my big ones. Tainted Grail is it's a story kind of game.
Lovely miniatures. The board's laid out in cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks very nice.
I'm looking forward to that one. So, because as I say, I've played Lords of Hella. Miniatures good. Nemesis miniatures good. Gameplay for Lords of Hella is really good. From what I've heard about Nemesis is really good. I've not had a chance to play it yet.
There's in Tainted Grail. There's it's like a loose King Arthur type
the ones who never made it to the round table, something like that.
Yeah, they all have quite a lot of flaws and
so
playing to the different characters.
So definitely looking forward to checking that one out. I'm just getting to meet the guys that made the game.
Yeah, that's one that I would quite like to have.
Yes,
go and have
one.
a look. But I think you threw that in because you knew that I would.
Nah, I threw it in because I want to see it. It's more of my own personal. I want to see. So.
Iona.
My next game is La Stanza by Quind Games, and it's a heavy-ish Euro game with an action rondel mechanic. You're a Italian noble who's looking to become a patron of the arts. So you're walking around different various rooms of power, sort of explorations, commissioning great paintings, the church, politics, and you walk around the spaces of the room where there is great historical figures that you can hire, and then you can use them to help commission great works of art that you can then use to increase your influence.
Because you're standing in the society. Do you have to wear like a little sort of masquerade mask with a pointy nose?
No, you need a poofy hat with a feather.
I'm going to wear a pointy nose mask. I'm not wearing a big hat.
You can wear both.
No.
If I buy it, you have to wear it.
No, I don't.
You do.
I'll make you wear it. Anyway, no. So what kind? You say an action rondel game?
Yeah. So essentially, the board is kind of like a big circle. There's like sections of this is the explorer room, this is the art room, and when you land on one of the spaces in the room, you have to hire the person on the space. But the action they can do is not necessarily the same as in the action you can hire them in. So you might have to hold on to them for a while before you finally get to their room to use them. It just seemed quite interesting.
You've certainly intrigued me today. I'm in.
Okay, I'm going back to horror again.
Okay.
Which is where I belong. Don't think this is a brand new game. I think this was out last year, but Coma Ward by Everything Epic Games.
I thought you were going to say Coma Wars there. I thought
No.
that's going to be a terrible war.
The idea of this one is that you wake up in an abandoned hospital, which, you know, that's bang on theme for me. And it's a bit like Betrayal at House on the Hill, so you're exploring rooms, you're trying to find clues as to what's going on. And then,
That's an immediate turn off for me.
oh, but I like it. I don't know how much this is like, but it was mentioned as a comparison, because you are exploring different rooms, and apparently when you find out what's going on, the game then ramps up.
Like
to a next
Betrayal
stage.
on House
Yeah,
on the Hill
so-
or whatever it's called.
But that sounds like the sort of thing I would like, so that's next for me.
Is it made by the people that done Betrayal?
I have no idea who did Betrayal on House on the Hill.
It's not a WizKids. It's not a WizKids who publishes it. I don't know who actually made it, but I'm pretty sure it's WizKids publish.
No, so I don't think it is.
Because I'm really not a fan of that game.
That's all right.
It's just you're randomly bumbling around.
Every time I've seen it be played, I've like nothing's gone. I want to play that. I've just gone. Nah.
It's the theme that's getting me more than the actual mechanisms, but yeah.
I'm all about the mechanisms, baby.
We'll find some more for you later. Jason.
Yes, so I'm going to just pick this is the one I was looking at. I'm not too sure about yet because it's got the word semi-cooperative in it. I'm hoping it's semi-cooperative in my favour where I could be an asshole, but we'll have to wait and see. It's called Snitch. It is a 3 to 5 player game. Apparently takes 10 to 20 minutes to play. It's a fast-paced social deduction game. Players try to win the most money. Each round, a player selects a number of cards that must be matched from groups of cards. These are drawn from a deck, and players negotiate with the cards they will contribute. So that's me reading off the spiel from the description there because I'm not too sure. But it's social deduction. It's semi-cooperative, which means there might be a backstabbing element to it. It's Snitch, which sounds mafia-like, so I'm hoping it's going to be Resistance / Mafia de Cuba-esque, so I'll be looking at that one because it looks like a small game as well. 10 to 20 minutes, and you know I like the wee party games like that, so it's one of my picks.
Not too
No?
interested in that myself. Mainly because there's a lot of those games.
Yeah.
And I have a few of them.
You have a lot of it.
I don't need any more games like that in my. It would have to do something spectacularly amazing.
Well, is it worth checking out to see if it does though?
I'll wait and hear what you say about it, and then,
I'll check out
and
day
then
one
discard
and
it
then
out
you
of
can
hand.
decide. Yeah.
So I'm afraid I'm out.
Okay, cool. So before we go on, I'm going to do my giveaway now in the middle of the podcast. Ha!
No, you're not.
No, you can't. No.
Iona,
No,
what's your next
no,
game?
I'm giving away a game.
What,
People wanna hear?
What
okay.
game
So I'm going
is
to
it?
give away a
Right.
copy of Siege Storm from Awakened Realms, because obviously they're my favourite thing. And then I'm going to give away a copy of Find the Pickle from Team Custard Kraken. And for anybody to be a chance to win, they just need to comment on this podcast and just saying, I want to win.
Now, where can they comment
On
about
the
this
podcast, in
podcast?
Podbean. It's hosted on Podbean. If you just go in, drop a comment saying, I want to win, I will...
They can also tell us about games that they're interested in.
Yes, they could do. They could add in their choices. I just wanted simple, easy.
Social engagement.
They can join us on Twitter as well if they want and add a little comment there.
Where can they find us
Twitter
on
is
Twitter?
at Ellerium Games. Always there, always hiding.
Hiding?
Yeah, I've not been posting much, but
You have been posting
I
a
have
lot.
lately, but not much. Yeah. So there you go. So there's 2 games to be won. So simple comment or comment. on
And
Twitter.
when is the closing date?
I
for
will close it on the 26th before we get into Expo, so the person has a chance to have it collected at Expo if they wish.
Okay.
So yeah. So there we go.
Or sent out if they're not going down.
Or send it.
next.
Yes, we will post it out if otherwise.
Okay.
So yeah, carry on.
So, Iona?
My next pick is Sierra West by Dyson Board Games.
Sierra West. Now that sounds like a cowboy type
It's
game.
cowboy, sort of California, I assume, where like the Wild West happened and then all the
Having
gold rush and
gold
stuff.
panning. Yeah.
It's kind of an action programming game because you are given 3 cards, which, if I look at this right, slot into your player board, but your player board kind of has like fingers that jut up and cover certain actions on the card. So you're creating a path for your 2 meeples to walk along, but depending on which order you put the cards, certain actions will be covered up on each one.
Okay.
And then so you walk along the path and you get the various things to provide, and then you can use that to acquire points. It's supposed to be quite interesting because it's got like various different modules. So it's like an apple module, a mining module, and a fishing module, which combine. So there's like different ways to play the game with like little tweaks.
Is this kind of like what was the game that you brought in, Leila, that had you could like swap out different ways of playing the game? Was it Prodigal's Club?
Oh yes,
Yeah.
so you have 3 different, basically 3 different games in one in that one, and you can
Yeah,
play. You,
you
don't
can
have
choose
to play all
which
of them.
modules
Similar idea
to
to
play.
that, yeah.
But I imagine a different type
Yeah.
of game.
Yeah,
Actually, that sounds interesting to me.
It does,
I'm like,
yeah.
that's piqued my interest. Like,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Interesting mechanics. Yeah,
I like the idea of blocking actions out of the cards. That there's several, and you're like, oh, well, I'll take that one.
yeah.
That's cool.
I think I might give that one a look.
Excellent. Thumbs up.
Leila?
I'm heading back towards nature now with Mega City Oceania from Hub Games. So this is to do with, it's slightly futuristic, it's climate change themes, overpopulation, and the aim of the game is that the sea is rising and you need to build a new city on floating platforms. And it looks like they've got some really nice little pieces in this game because you're actually physically building something out of glass, steel or concrete pieces. I'm assuming that these are all just plastic, but appropriately coloured and what have you. And you build them on a little hexagon, which you then have to move into the rest of the city and make it fit. And there are different contracts, there are different needs, there are different types of building. And it looks quite a fun one to play. And I do like the build a city type of games. So that's
Now,
Mega City.
I'm a bit. I don't like things that try to tell me like, oh, there's climate change happening. I know all this is happening. I don't like things thrown it in my face,
It's just a setting.
right? But I do like the sound of that game. Building the city, pushing your things out.
It
Try to fit
looks
them
very
in.
cool.
That sounds quite nice. So I'm
and
gonna
it's 3D and
Mega City Oceania.
Yep.
I think I might give that one a peek. Yeah.
over to Jason.
You just reading things on your phone.
No, I'm
Jason.
looking up. So one of the games I want to check out is Kitty Cataclysm.
Cataclysm
Yeah.
by Bez,
Yes,
if
by
I'm not
Bez.
mistaken.
Yes, because
We drew lots of pictures
Yeah.
for him.
yes.
And we still haven't had a shot of Kitty Cataclysm.
No, but having seen Bez posting up on Twitter and Facebook and stuff, it looks like a Take That kind of game, which is right up my street because it's like
I love
steel
the
cards.
Wibble Plus Plus.
Yes, Wibble was good fun actually. We've played that a few times. It's quite weird because that's like always designs games that have got many games within one, or you can play them different ways, so that gives you extra value. So yeah, so I'll be definitely checking that one out.
Yeah, no, and even for Wibble, got all different types of games online as well that you can check out that you can play.
Yeah, there's a whole website Stuff by Bez, so check out all that stuff. So,
I'll probably go down, seek out Bez, and draw out another cat or something.
Whatever activity's going on this time, there's always a gimmick, which is cool. So yeah, always enjoy that one.
Definitely a fun stall to go
Yes,
to.
yeah, definitely.
Iona?
My last game is Seize the Bean by Quality Beast.
This is a coffee bean,
Is that,
isn't it?
is that made by the same people that make Find the Pickle?
Hide the pickle.
Hide the Pickle.
It's a different version.
Okay.
It is a coffee shop card drafting game where
Okay.
you're trying to build up your coffee shop, attract customers, and give them good service so they give you good reviews.
So we're talking about like a sort of small, fast-paced card game.
You essentially have 3 rows, and you can like directly attract customers to you, or hire improvements for your shop, or sort of new attractions for your shop, like an open mic night or things like that. One interesting mechanic I found was the attractions to your shop attract certain types of customers. So say you have your open mic night, then musicians are more likely to come to your shop. So there is a line of customers, and if you've got the most attraction for musicians, they just automatically get added to your discount pile. I quite like the art. It's like slightly grotesque cartoons.
Okay.
So just look really interesting.
Sounds a bit hipstery for me, but I do like.
Hipsters are actually one of the customer groups.
Yeah, I would imagine they were. But it sounds like interesting mechanics.
I'm going just for the name of the yeah, let's go.
No, I like the sound. The sound is it sounds almost like a sort of engine building light type experience.
Machikoro style. Kind of put cards down.
I'm not really a fan of Machikoro.
Yeah.
With your customers, you get them, attract them to your shop, and you get like 2, and you have to serve them with like coffee beans or milk or cakes, and then if you can't serve them, they give you bad reviews, but if you can, they trigger like special powers, so like let you add something for free and stuff like that. So it's
I'll check that.
ninja building.
Cool. Yeah, I might give that a look. Leila?
Well, I was going to go with Wingspan from Stonemaier Games because it's science, it's done by what looks to be a good lady designer. But actually, I'm going to go silly with The Table is Lava from R&R Games. This is to do with throwing cards at meeples on a table. You're trying to knock meeples into the lava by throwing cards at them, and if you manage to get them sat on the right cards and they're safe from the lava, and it just sounds like fun. And again, I think this was one that was actually released last year, but I'm hoping it'll be there. Well, I think it should be there this year at the Expo to have a go at.
Do you know I'm getting the feeling of Flick 'em Up? Have you played the Flick 'em Up games? Where you flick like little
I know what Flick 'em Up is.
Guys, so kind of get that idea of that sort of.
The very few games like that really catch my fancy. I like things.
You liked Ice Cool, did you not?
Ice Cool.
That was the flicking the penguins.
The penguins. I'm not a big fan of this dexterity game really. Super Rhino I kind of like, or Rhino Hero, whatever
You
it's
like
called.
eggs? What's the egg one? The rubber eggs.
Dancing eggs.
Dancing. Well, that's more of a children's game that we crack out when it's the 24-hour thing. We're all acting like idiots.
Okay, yeah.
It's not a game that I would seriously come in and play.
Every Saturday, dancing eggs, boys. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
It's good to have a mix, though.
But yeah, I don't think I'll be looking for that one really.
Right. You can watch me play.
So I'm going to quickly mention one more for Leila's sake than anything, just because it is Leila's a smart person and I'm not. It's periodic from Genius Games. It's about the periodic table, a game of elements. So yeah, I just thought that maybe something you might want to check out.
It does look interesting, that one.
So is that all you're going to say about it? Are you going to explain what the game is? Or?
Give me 2 seconds and I'll get up they send me PDF and stuff, so we're going to check it out. It is a 2 to 5 player game for ages 10 and up. It takes around about 40 to 60 minutes. Periodic game centered around the periodic table of elements. Players maneuver across the periodic table to collect elements to score goal cards and land on element groups to score points. Players either pay energy to use multiple periodic trends to move across the table, or select just one trend and collect all the energy paid to that trend. So it kind of looks like you have to pay to do something, but if you do, somebody else will take that energy away from you, and you're kind of like passing the energy back and forth to continue. So
is this going to be the expo?
Yes, it is. Yes. So yeah.
My only concerns with that one is that is it trying too hard to be educational? Is it a fun game? But we have to give it a go and see.
So that's
I don't like people sneakily try to educate me. If I want to be educated, I'll go and read a book.
I didn't pay attention to school for a reason. So,
but if I'm playing a game, I'm like, wait a minute, they're trying to teach me something. Yeah,
just like trash the place.
Yeah,
but I mean, going and knowing it looks like an educational game might be a bit easier. Going, okay, this is slightly educational. So I'll look at it anyway. But
I'd be interested in giving it a look, but I'm on the fence about that, I think.
Well, so that's G's Games for that one. But my last one is Robot Royal. Just a small game from East Street Games. We checked out last year. They had a prototype version. It is
Robot Royal.
Royale, I guess. You probably want.
Has it got an E at the end?
Yes.
Royale.
So it's last man standing. Robots fighting out in an arena. You set up the arena with cards that are. What's the word I'm looking for? Where they can be different.
Reversible?
Nah. Oh, it's gone. Damn time. They can change. They can change the pattern of the
programming.
Right. So they've got tiles. The arena has tiles, and they can change to make a different setup for the arena. What is that goddamn word called? Alternate? Nah.
Orientation?
Different orientations of the cards, so they have like different paths and stuff, and they've got walls on them, so you might set them up a different way. But basically, the point is your robots find out, and you've got like you can respawn, or if you get cut down to half your body, you got like half a trap.
Who makes this?
East Street Games. It looked really cool last year. It kind of gave me a wee bit of a simplicity of, hey, that's my fish, but I'm not saying it, so don't even ask. So it's so it kind of has that like nice, easy feel
not
to it.
saying what?
Not saying it, just get me. So yeah, it's a 2 to 4 player game.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Penguins. Happy. Goddamn penguins. But yeah, so as we feel with that sort of that setup and simplicity, so yeah, check it out. Could be a good weekend. Probably not the best description there, so you might want to change it.
Yeah, you haven't instilled me with any interest in that game at all.
I can't see.
Although it does have penguins in it, apparently.
It doesn't have penguins, it's robots. But see, when you set a map up, say there's 4 pieces of a map, and you would set it up 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And then you can rotate them so they're different. What's that called? I see
modular.
Modular. There you go. Modular. That's the word I was looking for. Yes. So they're modular tiles. There's 4 modular tiles to make up an arena. So there you go. You can change them. So it gives you variation in the gameplay, and there's 4 different robots.
You finding the right word there has completely changed my mind.
That's good to know. So yes, that was my last game. So yeah.
Okay. A few. I've just realised I should have been keeping score here to see how many people have intrigued me, but I can't remember.
Well, we can go through them quickly, and you can read them out. So Iona's 4 were 5.
Blood in the Clock Tower, which was a no, I think.
Yeah, that was the big 20 people game.
Lifeform.
That's
Alien the board
right.
game. La Stanza.
Yeah.
Sierra West.
Yeah.
And Seize the Bean.
Yeah.
So 4
for Iona.
Mm-hmm. Mine was Undo, which was going back into people's lives after they've died and tweaking things, which you said no.
Did I?
You said
you wanted to play Time Stories first.
You check out, but you need to check Time Stories first.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, so I would count that as a yes.
Alright. Bosk, Trees in the National Park.
Yeah.
Coma Ward.
No.
Mega City Oceania, which you said yes.
Yeah,
And Table is Lava.
No.
3
for Leila.
I'm probably losing this then. So Nameji or Nameji.
No.
Right. Kitty Cataclysm.
Yeah.
Robot Royale.
No.
Tainted Grail.
Yeah.
And I Snitch.
No.
Oh man, 2 points.
2 points. 2 points for Jason. Yeah. So Iona wins!
Woo! So yeah,
I have no prize.
no
for
prizes. Breck will make you a coffee again.
I've already made it.
Ah, you can make it. But yeah, so that's our rough top picks for now. So we'll see what other gems we find while we're there.
Yeah, anything else you're particularly looking forward to down there?
I saw that.
Any events anybody signed
Well,
up
I want to just give
for?
a shout out to a couple of games companies. Mark with Dream Big Games is showing off Wreck and Ruin again. The guys.
No, that's the Mad Max style hex-based vehicle
It
combat
was
game.
quite nice with the little magnets that attach fire.
He literally had to do a video the other day telling people how to magnetize because people were asking, "Oh, how to magnetize things?" So he's been doing that. There is also Dice Summoners who sent us a copy, which I haven't had a chance to get into, from Decking Awesome Games. They'll be there showing that off, so check that one out as well. I'm hopefully going to play it at some point and figure out if it's up there or not. It's a 2-player dice card games. Yeah. Yeah, that's ones I want to shout out.
Yeah, nobody going along to any events. Anything like that?
I'm entered into the pandemic survival tournament.
Okay.
Me and my friend Kat.
Kat's going to that.
Has Kat played Pandemic?
She has.
Oh, she has. Okay, good.
She's
Because I'm like,
actually
you
really
and Gabby
good.
with a team sort of thing, and now you're going with a random person. You're like, oh, crap.
Yeah, Kat's the smartest person I know. So.
Okay. Oh, that hurts.
Ooh, yeah, you sat next to Leila here.
Oh, hey.
You couldn't find out
I'm
what
done.
modular was, and you keep saying penguin.
Shut up. You.
So it's just a nice competitive twist on co-op game. It's fun. You get to beat other people
No, you don't. You still have to play cooperatively.
with a teammate. It's not.
Oh, dirty words.
Did you say it's time limited? You've only got a certain amount of time to discuss what you're going to do.
Yeah, you have like 30 seconds. There's a timer, and you have 30 seconds to make a move, and that's the only time you're allowed to talk and confer with your teammate to like discuss what's the strategy.
Tough.
So and I remember in Perth, me and Gabby ended up like discussing 2 moves ahead, just because that's the only time we had to actually discuss what we're doing.
Sounds good.
Leila, you going to see anything or?
No, and this is the first year in a while that we're not demoing one of our own Murray Game Jam games.
Yeah.
We've done that for the past few years, but this year we're not. So we get a bit more time to have a look at everybody else's.
Yeah.
But you will all be doing stuff from the media side of this now, because you're all part of the podcast, part of the articles, and you're hopefully going to be on camera for some of the reviews and stuff, so we can get a mix of faces rather than just my mug all the time, which would be nice.
I was thinking just like cutting you entirely.
Just not at all. I'm happy with that. Yeah.
If you are going to talk, if you have to talk, put a little bag over your head.
Yeah. Just by the question mark on the top.
No,
Just a bag.
just a bag.
Brown, white.
Plastic.
Oh, it's plastic. So
Tied
ear
tightly at
holes?
the neck.
No.
Ear holes. Just
Yeah, rope it around your neck.
yeah. Thanks. Appreciate it. Maybe a cable tie. Yeah. You doing any competitions or anything, or any events?
No. Nothing at all.
No. Okay.
I'm just going down to absorb myself in the atmosphere, see what's knocking about, play a few games, maybe get a couple of games, see what's what.
Have we reminded you of any that you're looking forward to?
No.
No? Okay.
Well, I don't know what's coming. I don't know. Yeah.
It'll all be a wonderful surprise.
Yeah, I usually like to go down and just see what's there.
Well, we're heading down on the Wednesday because me and Chris have the Asthma Day Retailer Summit on the Thursday, so that's 10 to 4. So that's an all day thing.
You've got an all day thing.
Yeah, they supply lunch and stuff, so I'm happy with that. So we did Retail Summit till 4, and then we've got the press preview in the afternoon on Thursday. So hopefully we'll be in checking out the games post, and then we can get a quick note of what we definitely want to see, what we might change our minds on. And then Friday, Saturday is going around checking everything out, and then Sunday I'll be playing in the Link Seekers Nationals. So yeah, and that's it. Yeah, but I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait. I love this time of year. It's our getaway. And we get to have to fight every night where we're going for dinner as well. I like that fight.
And also playing the games
That's
we
the
picked up
worst.
during the day.
Yeah, that's the best part.
That's
Where
the
we argue
worst.
is where we're going
That's
for
the
first.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not doing that.
Are you well?
No,
Are you just going to eat before?
I'm just going to eat.
Just take a packed lunch and crack.
No,
and
I'll just sit down and eat, and you can do whatever you want. I don't care.
Hopefully the food stalls are still there because they do some
Oh
nice
yeah,
spaces.
At the
lovely.
Hilton.
Outside the Hilton.
The burger vans are quite nice as well. So yeah, looking forward to that.
Yeah.
So that's our pre-UK Games Expo podcast.
Anything else anybody wants to say?
I would say check out Iona's article up on our website, elleriumgames.co.uk. I also
About your previous year's experience?
Yeah, about how I felt last year. What I enjoyed and
Yeah, it was good. And Leila's got some write-ups from our Kingdom Deaths and so on.
I've done nothing.
No, because you're lazy.
I
keep
am
asking you
very,
to, you ever do it?
very lazy.
Yeah, ridiculous.
I'm a horrible person.
There's a write-up from
But
Chris.
at least I can say penguin.
In fact, everybody's got a write-up there but you. Chris, me, Iona, Leila. Yeah.
At least I can say penguin.
So yeah, last thing to say is give us a follow on Twitter at Ellerium Games, or check us out Facebook, Ellerium Games again.
Yep.
Our website,
YouTube,
Ellerium
Podbean.
Games. Podbean is where to comment. If you want to get a chance to win those games.
Yeah, do you want to go over that
Yeah.
the prize
If you
again?
want to try and win a copy of Siege Storm from Awakened Realms, or find the pickle from Team Custard Kraken, they're both separate wins, so that's 2 people will win. They just have to comment on the podcast or on Podbean, or drop us a comment on Twitter.
And we'll pick randomly.
We'll pick randomly, yes. We'll put all the names into a hat and pick randomly.
Okay.
Not a literal hat, but into a hat.
Oh, we can get a hat.
I've got a hat. You got a hat?
Yeah.
I got a fedora. I should take my fedora with me.
I'll take my green hat.
Let's do it. Hat time.
Are we going to be wearing Ellerium Games t-shirts? Can people come and
Hopefully.
find us?
Yes, hopefully we'll have Ellerium Games t-shirts on at UK Games Expo, so if you see the big blue,
Yeah, come up and
T-shirt
say hi.
give us a slap, you know what I mean?
Ask Jason to say penguin.
Yeah, see too much swearing off. I'll murder you. But yeah, so
Yeah.
pop
Let's
up.
see how many people we can get coming up to Jason and saying penguin.
In fact, you know what I'll do is I'll find a small token, and anyone that asks me to say penguin will get a token. How's that sound? Yeah.
Yeah, well, thanks for listening, and we shall return with our post-expo discussion. We'll see what we've all seen down there and experienced, and see if the games that we've all
Reviewed
talked about
still
today.
stand up to what we thought.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Anybody else got anything else to say? No.
Goodbye from me, Jason.
Goodbye from me, Breck.
Goodbye from me, Iona.
And goodbye from me, Leila.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.